There's one grammar mistake that immediately reveals you're a foreigner in Portugal, and it's probably not what you think. I'm talking about personal pronouns. Use the wrong one, and we Portuguese will think either you're incredibly rude or trying too hard to be formal. Today I'm showing you the secret rules that no textbook teaches. I'm Sílvia. I teach European Portuguese, and here's something fascinating. Portuguese personal pronouns aren't just grammar, they're social navigation tools. Get them wrong, and you might accidentally offend someone. Get them right, and you'll sound naturally Portuguese. Let me show you exactly how this works. First, let's get the basics clear. Portuguese personal pronouns. Singular. Eu, I. Tu, you informal. Você, you formal. Ele ou ela. He or she. And the plural form, nós, we. Vocês, you, plural. Eles ou elas, they. But here's the Portuguese secret. We drop pronouns constantly. Instead of saying eu sou portuguesa, I usually just say sou portuguesa. The verb ending tells you what you need to know. Examples. Sou professora. I'm a teacher. És americano? Are you American? Vivemos em Lisboa. We live in Lisbon. This makes Portuguese sound more natural and less repetitive. Now here's where it gets culturally tricky. Você, the formal you. The textbook says use você for formal situations, tu for informal. Portuguese reality, você can sound blunt, distant, or even rude in many contexts. Let me give you a real example. Last week, a student told me she went to her neighbor and said, Você tem açúcar? Do you have sugar? Her neighbor looked surprised and said, Você? Por que tanta formalidade? You? Why so much formality? What happened here? In Portuguese culture, você creates distance between neighbors, friends, or even casual acquaintances. It can feel cold. Portuguese people prefer to drop the pronoun entirely. For example, tem açúcar. Implicit you. Use the person's name. A Maria tem açúcar. Here's a cultural insight. Portuguese people value warmth in interactions. Você can accidentally signal that you want to keep distance. So when do you use each one? Here's my practical guide. Use tu with friends, family, children, people your age or younger, like casual settings in cafes, shops, informal meetings. After someone uses tu with you first, example. Tu gostas de café? Do you like coffee? Como é que tu te chamas? What's your name? Now, when to use você? Use it carefully with much older people, if they seem very formal. In professional settings, like first meetings. When someone explicitly uses você with you. And in official situations like bank, government offices, visits to the doctor. But here's a Portuguese trick. Start with no pronoun and listen to what they use with you. Example conversation. You say, desculpe, sabe onde fica a estação? Excuse me, do you know where the station is? Them. Sabes que não tenho a certeza. You know, I'm not sure. They used sabes, tu form. Now you can use to back. Here are my practical strategies for navigating this. Strategy 1. The mirror technique. Listen to what we Portuguese use with you, then mirror it back. Strategy 2. When in doubt, drop it. Tem açúcar works in 90% of the situations. Instead of risking tu tem ou você tem. Strategy number 3. The name technique. O João sabe onde fica instead of tu sabes or você sabe. Strategy number 4. With people clearly older, start formal. Let them guide you to tu. With peers or with younger, tu is usually a safe place. With children, always tu. Strategy number 5. Start meetings with dropped pronouns, evolve to tu as relationships develop. Remember, Portuguese people will gently correct you if needed. We appreciate the effort more than perfect execution. Now, this gets even more interesting because Portugal isn't uniform. In northern Portugal, for example, people are more comfortable with tu in general. When we come to Lisbon area, it's mixed. It depends on the context and the generation. If you go south in Portugal, people are often more formal, traditionally. But there's also a generational pattern. Younger Portuguese, like under 40, they usually prefer tu in most situations, but older generations might expect você initially, but often switch to tu. In professional settings, it's a bit mixed, but tending towards tu in modern workplaces. My student Maria, she's German, she told me something brilliant. She said, I realize Portuguese people don't just want respect, they want connection. Tu creates connection. Você creates respect. The art is knowing when you need which one. That's a brilliant observation. Portuguese culture values human connection highly. Mastering Portuguese pronouns isn't just about grammar. It's about reading Portuguese social cues and building genuine connections. If you want to master these nuances and 47 other essential Portuguese communication patterns, I'm finishing that comprehensive guide I mentioned. It will have cultural context for each situation, so you know not just what you say, but when and why. Subscribe and hit the bell so you're first to know when it launches. And tell me in the comments, have you had any awkward pronoun moments in Portugal? What did you learn? Remember, we Portuguese want to connect with you. The right pronoun choice shows you understand not just our language but our values. That's when real integration begins. Practice those dropped pronouns this week. Até já!